Eleanor had just moved into her aunt's old house, a place filled with forgotten corners and a faint, lingering scent of old books and dried flowers. She felt a strange quiet in its walls. One rainy afternoon, while exploring, she found a small, hidden study behind a sliding bookshelf, a place her aunt had never mentioned. Inside the study, on a cluttered desk, lay a peculiar leather-bound journal, its pages thick with her aunt's looping handwriting. The journal spoke of the house, not as a building, but as a collector of human experiences, a vast tapestry of emotions and memories. Her aunt had believed certain objects in the house acted as conduits, amplifying the house's power, drawing in echoes of laughter, cries, and whispered words from long ago. Soon, Eleanor started to hear them too. Snippets of arguments from different eras, faint melodies, and muffled cries seemed to drift through the air, just at the edge of her hearing. Shadows flickered in her peripheral vision, quick and elusive, like brief glimpses of people who weren't there. The air in the house grew heavy, thick with unspoken stories. She started to feel watched, not by a single presence, but by 1,000 tiny echoes, a multitude of trapped moments and emotions observing her every move. Slowly, subtly, Eleanor found herself mimicking her aunt's habits, humming tunes she didn't know, or using peculiar phrases that weren't her own. When she looked in the mirror, her reflection sometimes seemed distorted, a fleeting glimpse of another face, another time, before settling back to her own. Her once meticulous notes became confused, ideas jumbled, and her carefully organized belongings now lay scattered, mirroring the disarray she felt inside. The journal hinted at a key object, not to break a curse, but to amplify the house's power, allowing her aunt to truly become part of its collection. The curse wasn't violent possession, but a slow psychological absorption where the house fed on human experience, integrating new residents into its melancholic tapestry. Eleanor realized her aunt hadn't been trying to escape the echoes, but to join them, to become the house's curator of suffering, a part of its vast, unending memory. She felt the house welcoming her, a silent invitation to become another whisper in its walls, another memory woven into its timeless embrace. Sometimes, the deepest connections are found in unexpected and unsettling places. Eleanor felt the old house watching her, its quiet hum growing louder each day. She knew it wanted her to stay, to become another whisper in its ancient walls. Memories of her Aunt Clara, who had disappeared into this very house years ago, now felt like ghostly warnings. Was she doomed to follow the same path? Every floorboard creaked with a secret. Every shadow seemed to stretch and twist, urging her to abandon her logic and simply surrender. She tried to focus on the world outside, the rustling leaves and the distant chirping of birds, but the house's pull was strong, a silent song in her mind. A whisper brushed her ear, a faint, sweet sound that promised peace if only she would stop fighting. Eleanor knew she had a choice: fight with all her might, even if it meant losing herself, or let go and become part of the house's mysterious collection. She imagined escaping, running far away, but the thought brought a strange pang of loneliness, as if leaving meant abandoning a part of herself. What if her aunt had found a different kind of peace here, a quiet belonging that Eleanor couldn't yet understand? The house wasn't just old, it felt alive, a living, breathing entity that offered a strange comfort amidst its eerie silence. She closed her eyes, letting the house's whispers wrap around her like a warm, forgotten blanket. A soft light pulsed from the walls, revealing hidden patterns and forgotten stories that only she could see now. Eleanor felt herself changing, not into a ghost, but into a guardian, a keeper of the house's secrets. The fear had faded, replaced by a deep understanding, a sense of belonging she hadn't known she was missing. She was no longer just Eleanor, she was part of the house, and the house was part of her, forever intertwined. The house no longer watched her, it embraced her, a silent, eternal companion. She had made her choice, and in doing so, found her home.
1, 2, they're coming for you. He's here.